Okay, well, enjoy shoveling that snow in about 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's all good. But
Hey, Dolly wants to ask you: is Terrence Crawford still fighting Brooke?
I heard November 14th, right? That's what I'm
Yeah,
seeing on
I heard
the
of it. I think they're gonna have to work that out because it's either gonna be him or Josecito Lopez.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, I'm seeing everything about Brooke and stuff like that. So I think that's almost pretty much academic. So, I
Hmm.
mean, if Terrence Crawford's going to do that, then by all means. I mean, Kell Brook's been a world champion. Let's see what happens there. What
Hmm.
can mainstream media do to keep the pressure on to unify the 150-pound battalion, Charlo and Andre, even rematch instead of fighting Yildirim? I think what's going to the Sweet Science Examiner, Fred. You know what I think is going to have to happen there is, I think it's going to have to be a WBC call in the sense that with
Ooh.
Canelo being the franchise champ and Charlo being the regular champion, it's totally up to it, in my opinion, if the WBC forces the hand of Canelo. Now that's a slippery slope here because with Canelo being the cash cow of the sport, you got to know when to push and when to pull back. So it all depends on how far the WBC is willing to push.
Mm.
But also before we get into anything with him, he's got to figure out his legal issues with DAZN and Golden Boy. I mean, that's like a weird like trio that's going on over there.
Everybody lying to each
I
other.
mean, just like everyone's, and it's like they got to handle that.
Sure.
But what's unfortunate about it, Fred, is that Canelo is a top pound for pound fighter and
Facts.
he's in his physical prime. So
Hmm.
it's like whatever you guys got to do legally, figure that out soon so that we can get one of the best fighters in the sport back in the ring. And again, like I want to see everybody do well because
Hmm.
you know what? Like it's better for the sport, it's better for you, it's better for me, it's better for
Yeah,
the fans. I want to see
absolutely right.
everybody do well. And all this infighting stuff, whatever. Like that's above my pay grade. Like I want to see everybody do well. Let's see Canelo and let's see Jamal Charlo if that can happen. But I think the WBC could have a role in making that happen.
No, you're right. And like as I just mentioned, imagine Canelo, Charlo to bring the fans back.
Man,
Bring the fans
man.
back.
Oh my gosh. I
Makes
mean,
sense.
it would be on epic proportions.
Hmm. And I think that's maybe what Steven Espinoza was thinking when he said like he was applying a little bit of pressure, like he's kind of like telling the people, like leading in, like, oh, I'll definitely want uh Canelo if it opens up. So you got a podcast too going. You got a podcast Saturdays before the show.
No, so what we do is I got every week before the week I got a PBC Instagram live thing,
On
and then I
Tuesday,
work. I
Monday.
do a lot of times. This past week we did a Zoom thing before the pay per view and stuff. It was a virtual mixer, like a cocktail reception. You know how it is before big
Yeah,
fights and stuff
yeah.
like that. We had it going on, but before a lot of like the Showtime fights and the big Fox fights, I work with Brittany Goosen Brown,
Yeah.
Vice President at TGB Promotions. She's one of my best friends in the entire world. She works her butt off under her dad, Tom Brown. So we kind of break down the fights a little bit. We answer questions from fans on our Instagram pages and stuff like that on Instagram Live. And we go back and forth. And Brittany gives us the promoter's perspective, what she's dealing with from a paperwork standpoint and all the things that she has to do because she's got a million things going on. And I break down the cards. So that's what we do before the big Showtime and the big Fox fights.
Hmm. Yeah, and I will say one thing about Brittany is I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I swear before God, I'm not lying to you. Go to her Instagram stories on Saturdays before the fights. Her fucking sense of humor
Oh,
is
awesome, right?
yeah, oh, she just got an uncanny sense of humor, and it's funny. And if you understand like real life in boxing, and you have a sense of humor, you gonna love her stories, like for real, for real. You know what I mean? Trap Rob says Canelo retires within 2 years.
No
Uh,
way. No way.
he needs that money, right?
I mean, man, I mean, if you could go ahead and make almost $500 million potentially, I mean, why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Unless he gets really, really hurt or severely hurt, I don't see that happening at all.
And we got December 19th. We got Wilder Fury 3.
And that's what that. So that's still the date, then, Fred. I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope
that's the
that's
deal.
still the date.
Yeah, that's the deal they're working with, December 19th,
Man,
because the Raiders are away that week.
Talk about an early Christmas present. And I tell you what, you
Yeah.
better not count out Deontay Wilder. I know Fury's training already and stuff like that, but this is a Deontay Wilder from what I've heard. And the thing is, and you know this, with the prize fighter that loses the first time, they're either going to go one of two ways. They're either going to self-implode, or
Mm,
two, they're going to come back with this vengeance and with this determination that we've never seen before.
hmm
I think that we see the most focused, the most determined,
hmm
the most dialed in Deontay Wilder that we've ever seen. I'm scared of what we're going to see on December 19th because Deontay Wilder is going to come out, and I think it's going to be pure violence.